Okay. So, some more information then. Also, might be worth noting here. Okay, we have an update on Bring Down the Sky. Let's definitely read this. Let's see. Human cultures remain linguistically divided. Some converse in Spanish, others in Mandarin, Arabic, Swahili, etc. Even every alien race has their own equally broad panoply of languages and dialects. Most individuals know only their mother tongue and rely on machine translation. Modern portable computers allow anyone with a few hundred credits of equipment to enjoy seamless real-time translation of alien languages, courtesy of handheld PDAs, computers in clothing or jewelry, or subdermal implants. Without fast and accurate translation, galactic trade and culture would not exist. And interestingly enough, there was apparently a time when the developers, BioWare, were planning on having it so that you would actually hear the real sort of untranslated voice and speech from all the various aliens. And there's a video that someone posted on YouTube about it that I was looking at I don't know, a month ago or so. So if you're interested in that, it's pretty funny. It's pretty crazy. So I recommend checking it out. Let's see. But other than that, let's see. Governments provide subsidized software, updated through the public extranet on the fly, often as users approach spaceport customs facilities. Even the Batarians, who isolated themselves from galactic society nearly 2 decades ago, take pains to provide up-to-date glossaries and linguistic rules, though most suspect this is only so they can continue exporting propaganda. It is still considered broad-minded and practical to be able to speak without machine aid. Children often take courses in alien language, and most races can speak the simplified artificial trade tongue with little difficulty. Some species rely on machine translation to interact with the rest of the galaxy. Hanar, for example, cannot reproduce the spoken language of any humanoid species, and other races cannot reproduce Hanar bioluminescence without mechanical aid. Newly discovered or obscure races don't have machine translation available until the linguistics have had time to study them. Okay, so that touches a bit on the Batarians. And let's see, do we have an entry on them here? Let's see. We don't. We may have one in our primary section, in which case we may have already read it. What else do we have on that? Oh, we have a lot on council races, okay? Apparently we just learned a lot about the Solarians. Let's wait on that stuff. I want to double check. We have, Batarians, here we go.
In the early 2160s, the Alliance began aggressive colonization of worlds in the Skyllian Verge, much to the dismay of the Batarians, who had been developing the region for several decades. In 2171, the Batarians petitioned the Council to declare the Verge a zone of Batarian interest. The Council refused, however, declaring unsettled worlds in the region open to human colonization. In protest, the Batarians closed their Citadel embassy and severed official diplomatic relations with the Council, effectively becoming a rogue state. They instigated a proxy war in the Verge by funneling money and weapons to criminal organizations, urging them to strike at human colonies. Hostilities peaked with the Skyllian Blitz of 2176, an attack on the human capital of Elysium by Batarian-funded pirates and slavers. In 2178, the Alliance retaliated with a crushing assault on the moon of Torfin, long used as a staging base by Batarian-backed criminals. In the aftermath, the Batarians retreated into their own systems and are now rarely seen in Citadel space.
So there you have it. That is the species that we were just running into, I think, for the first time. In fact, I think for the only time ever in Mass Effect 1. So that's what the guys who were opening the door, sending out the Varen on us, that's what species they were. And as you can kind of tell here, humans, Batarians, generally not the best of friends, because Batarians basically wanted to settle in this whole area of the galaxy, and then humans came in and they're like, hold on, but it's free real estate, Jim? And the Batarians did not like that. They were like, hey, we were here first, what gives? And then they went to the council at the Citadel, and council's like, we'll give it to the humans. That's fine, they can take it if they want.
Hey.
Whoa!
Oh god. I didn't mean to... Are you hurt?
Excuse me?
Takes more than that one shot to bring me down.
Sorry.
Never mind the fact that you shot
I
us
didn't
straight
even
in the heart,
realize
but
you were human
the shields.
Well, guess I'm not much of a soldier.
Yeah, you know, you should probably be a little more careful about shooting people straight in the chest like that.
I know you're scared, but I'm here to help. Commander Shepard, with the Alliance.
Simon Atwell. I'm the chief engineer on this rock. Listen, we don't have much time. The Batarians fired up the fusion torches. You've got to shut them down before we hit Terra Nova. There are 4 million people down there, Shepard. My family, they live in Aronis. My kids and grandkids. Nice communities, good schools.
Yes, like if this thing hits the planet, how bad's it gonna be?
I don't have time to do the math in my head. What happens if we don't stop this rock?
X-57 is 22 kilometers long, twice the size of the asteroid that wiped out the Earth's dinosaurs.
Oh.
It would be like millions of fusion bombs striking at once. Millions. The heat of the blast. 1,000 kilometers away, clothes will ignite. There'll be global wildfires. Air shock will flatten everything for hundreds of kilometers. Terra Nova will die, Shepard. Not just our colony, the planet. There'll be a climate shift, mass extinctions. The ecosystem won't recover for thousands of years. Millions, maybe.
But what if it lands in the water? That's like a nice, soft, cushiony pillow, right? That's totally fine, isn't it?
Is there any chance it'll land in the oceans?
That would be even worse.
Oh.
Tsunamis would sweep inland at hundreds of kilometers per hour. Millions of tons of water would be vaporized at the point of impact. Global cloud coverage. The plants could all die, and if they go, the whole ecosystem rolls over. I'd have to run the numbers, but take my word for it. It'd be bad.
Okay, you know, maybe we just take your word for it and we don't actually, you know, test it in practice. That sounds like maybe that's not a good idea. So, why exactly would anyone want to do this, though? I mean, it does seem like there's perhaps some lingering hostility between the humans and the Batarians, yes. But is that the reason?
This doesn't make any sense. Batarians run criminal gangs. Unethical, but profitable. They don't destroy worlds. What does this gain them?
I've heard all the stories. Slave rings ranching people like animals. Pirate bands burning colonies to the ground. But this is... The Citadel conventions forbid asteroid drops. I never thought the Batarians would go this far.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to believe that whoever's behind all this is not just any old Batarian, and hopefully this is you know, the most extreme of Batarians, and if we take care of this guy, then you know, we're not gonna have to worry too much in the future about having asteroids all over the place crashing into other planets. But let's see. Maybe first we ask about, well... no, let's do this and then we'll investigate. Yeah, I would hope they're not all like this.
Most Batarians aren't genocidal madmen, but these ones are terrorists.
Yeah, I know. It's just... This isn't how I expected the world to be when I rolled out of bed this morning.
You know, fair enough. Don't think anyone did, besides maybe these guys behind it. So, let's see, how many of them are there, do you know?
You were on the ground when this happened. How many Batarians have you seen? And where?
They landed at the main facility. It's locked down now. They've changed the passcodes, no idea what's going on inside. I did see groups head out to each of the torch stations. Couldn't say how many, though. Enough to give you a fight.
Okay. Guess it's a start. We know we should expect to run into more of them. As for the leader, do you have any idea who is behind all this?
Any idea who's behind this? Who's leading them? That might provide a clue.
I heard a couple of them talking. They mentioned a Balak. It sounded like he's the one in charge.
Mikhail?
They didn't seem convinced this was a good idea, but they were scared of the guy. Scared enough to do what he wanted.
Well, it looks like that's all we'll be able to get from Simon here.
Batarians everywhere, and I need to shut down all 3 torches. Anything else I should know?
One of the torches is surrounded by live blasting caps. We were set up to excavate when we arrived at Terra Nova. I rigged them with proximity detectors. That tank of yours will set them off, so you'll have to go in on foot. Even then, they'll explode if you get too close. Just go slow and easy. You should be fine.
I mean, can you turn off the blasting caps?
You set them up. Can you disable them?
Not from here. No. There are manual controls by the entrance to the torch facility inside the blast zone. You can disarm the caps there. One last thing. I had a crew working off-site when the attack hit. I'm worried about them. These Batarians are ruthless. I saw them smash the faceplates of guys working vacuum. And those Varen, I don't think they always wait for a corpse before feeding.
Oh. I mean, I certainly hope no one got eaten alive, but also, you know, having your face mask smashed when you are in the vacuum of space, also not a good way to go. But having like basically all the water from your body immediately evaporate, and that wouldn't be pleasant. No. Where would your crew be? I mean, we might have run into one of them already by the looks of things. We did, I'm afraid, find a dead guy.
Any idea where I can find them?
They were running checks on our perimeter equipment. Easiest thing would be to tap into the transmission tower out on the surface. The equipment stations will show up on your sensors.
Okay, so we did get that transmission tower there, and so we did find all the locations. So yes, this is basically, if you didn't already find either one of the dead people or the transmission tower, then you would learn about this from this guy. And I mean, we would certainly hope that maybe some of the other people are alive, but at least the first guy we ran into, yeah, not so much. So we'll do what we can.
I'll look for them, but the torches have to be my priority.
Yeah, you're right. Saving Terra Nova is more important than my team. There were a bunch of engineers over at the main facility, but they're probably all dead. That or being held hostage by the Batarians.
Okay, that's not good. Although, hold on, we did hear from one of them. Kate Bowman, was it, who perhaps has gotten away, at least at the moment. She's in hiding, it seems.
A woman named Kate Bowman contacted me. The Batarians haven't found her yet.
Katie's alive. She's one of my best engineers. She signed on with her brother, Aaron, I think his name is. He's part of the security detail. I hope they're okay.
I mean, I hope so, as well. Let's see, can we learn anything else about... I mean... Yeah, can people from on Terra Nova, can they evacuate? I mean, we heard when we were landing here on the asteroid that, in theory, there's 4 hours before impact. I mean, it's not a lot of time to evacuate an entire planet worth of millions of people.
Give me a worst-case scenario. We can't stop the asteroid. Could the colony be evacuated?
Shepard, it took 30 years for the population to grow that large. I'm sure they're moving people to remote areas, but they'd never be able to get more than a few thousand off-world. We just don't have enough ships. No one does. Well, maybe the Quarians, but I don't see them suddenly showing up and offering us a ride.
Okay, so evacuation is, not on the table. What about the asteroid itself?
Why were you moving this thing in the first place?
Well, the idea was to drag it into Terra Nova's orbit, mine it out, and in the end you'd have a basic structure for an orbital station. It's a lot cheaper than getting everything up into orbit from the planet's surface. The minerals we extract almost cover the costs.
And I have to imagine those costs are pretty ginormous, but then I guess it makes some sense. You know, better to, if you have conveniently an asteroid not that far away that you can move into orbit of the planet, then you have your foundation to build a base, rather than having to build everything from scratch, presumably on Terra Nova, and then using some kind of rocket to get it into space. And then we have Kate, who is apparently one of your engineers.
What can you tell me about Kate?
Smart as a whip and bold as they come. I hope she keeps hidden. If they find her... Oh, Katie, don't do anything stupid.
Alright, well, I think in that case, that's everything we can ask you about, and that is definitely some useful information. But, you should probably hide. Well, we try to go take care of the torches and the rest of these Batarians.
You'd better find a good place to hide. If the Batarians come back and find you...
Yeah, I think I'll make myself scarce. Good luck, Shepard.
Okay, so we got a little bit of Paragon points there. But, well, yeah, and also there's obviously, like, this person who, I don't know if this was, someone who was part of Simon's team or not, but, he doesn't look so good anymore. Just taking a nice little nap, is all. Little snooze. Batarians didn't even notice him there. Okay, one other thing that I'll mention here when it comes to completing the going through the torch areas and well, trying to get past the turrets that we were fighting previously. One thing you can theoretically do is if you are really concerned and having a lot of trouble fighting these turrets, you could speed up to the facility, get out right next to it, and then just race on in and try not to get blasted to smithereens. That being said, I mean, this turret probably still has a line of sight on you, and as we were saying before, the projectile speed is much faster with these turrets than they are for other turrets you tend to see on other planets. So still definitely not easy, and it does still mean as soon as you get out, those turrets will start firing at you again, but it's potentially a way in which you don't actually need to fight and destroy all the turrets, so if you're having a lot of trouble, that could potentially be a workaround for you. Then, well, I was gonna say, we see question mark on our map here in the bottom right corner, though not on our map when we open it up on the other screen. So let's see what this is all about then.
Can you hear me? Getting all kinds of interference. Damn. Sorry. There's a lot of feedback. See if I can fix it. In the meantime, just keep doing...
Okay. We'll try. And as you can see here, this was one of the torches, or is still one of the torches, but no longer has the fire coming out of it, because we have successfully turned it off. Whatever this question mark is, it is near the torch, and I practically got us stuck on it. Something like right here. Seemingly. But what is it? Hold on. Oh, I hesitated. This is not exactly the easiest thing to get up. Looks like it's maybe just at the top of this. Okay, and looks like some kind of base, little outpost of some variety. Okay, first aid station. I'm pretty sure we have maximum amount of first aid here. Let's see. Oh, what do we have here? Logs. This computer is filled with operation logs and personal journals for a small pirate music station operated by X-57's engineers. Alright, well, I suppose it's one way to pass the time. It includes scripts for several promotional messages, none of which appear to have been recorded. Radio 57, rocking this rock since 2182. That's a clever one. You know, a little bit of a dad joke, I suppose, in a way, but, you know, acceptable. Then Radio 57, where your world seems hollow, we have You Touch the Sky. Huh. Okay. A little more philosophical. And Radio X57, Talk Hard. I don't know about that. Radio X57, your last best hope for rock within 300,000 kilometers. I think I might like the first one best, to tell the truth. That gives us other areas on our map. Might also be a way to get the service stations to show up. Well, we did already have those. And we have the radio controls. Yeah. We can use to rock out. I don't know. For a radio station on a giant rock that is supposed to be about rock, not really feeling the rock. Feeling a lot more the elevator music. Not so much the rock. But that's everything in here unless we want to nab the metagel just for the sake of grabbing metagel that we don't need. Actually, kind of curious if we can still hear the music when we're in the Mako, driving away. I mean, presumably at some point, music is no longer audible. But apparently, we need to get further away than this. Okay, there's another torch there, which is actually not that far. Then there's the other, or one of the other survey stations down here. So I think we do that while we're in this area. That's probably the torch in question. Let's just run over the radio station real quick. Whoa! Okay, hold on. I forgot we were kind of on the top of a mountain. That was kind of alarming. It's okay. The Mega can take it. Okay, and here we should be coming up on our area. Okay. Yeah, looks like a small little science station, kind of like what we saw where we ran into the previous scientist, but that scientist was dead. So of course we're hoping this one is not so dead. Ooh, couldn't quite get in there. There we go. Okay, anything good here? Actually, decent heavy human armor, though. I think we already have Colossus for Ashley, so may not need that. May still be inferior. Okay, then, well, what else? Oh, we can go in here. Okay, sure. Oh. Yeah, you look very unalive. Especially what with the name of it being Body of C. Himes. His body has severe burns and shows signs of major concussive trauma. Mercifully, the explosion would have killed her instantaneously. Oh. Okay. Great. Just great. Alright, we got some station logs near. Anything else? I mean, the first aid station that, again, we don't really need, but...
This is Dr. Himes. They found me. Damn Batarians. I can hear them out there prowling around, trying to find a way in. It sounds like they're attaching something to the door. If I don't make it, tell my family I love them.
Oof, that hurts. That hurts. I mean... guess... good final words? And we'll find a way to bring justice to those Batarians. We will find a way. And we will stop them from crashing this asteroid into Terra Nova. Alright, and actually... okay, yes, that updates our missing engineer. We found the body of Himes. And we also learned about the blasting caps from Simon previously. Been warned about the presence of underground explosives surrounding one of the torches. You'll need to exit the Mako and proceed on foot. Okay, that is worth noting, because I think he mentioned it in our conversation, but you could forget about it if you sped through that conversation, or if you don't read this. But the blasting caps are equipped with proximity detectors. The closer you get, the more likely they will go off. And if you go in the Mako, then you will just immediately get exploded. So don't do it. You will get a game over. You will die. And if you don't realize you're supposed to go on foot, then that can get kind of frustrating, because it would be quite literally impossible to succeed. And that's supposedly one of the fusion torches that has that setup. Don't recall as to whether it's this one or if it's the next one. But either way, of course, we're going to see some enemies here by the looks of things. Got the rhombuses going up again, and that is definitely our torque. So there you see, like I was talking about last time, the previous torch no longer had the fire coming out of it because we did successfully turn it off, whereas this one very much does. Let's save, because those markers right there, I think that's our sign. This may be the one that has the blasting caps. It may, although...
Ground penetrating radar detects anti-vehicle demolition.
Yup. Proceed on foot. Oh, you're still shooting at us, though. So I would like to ideally get rid of you first, so we aren't getting shot at by some heavy turrets as we are trying. That's gonna miss. As we're trying to kill on foot. So as you can see here, there's a lot of X's. A lot of X's down there. These ones are popping up from a huge distance. Can't tell if we're quite getting it from here or not. There we go. Apparently we are. Whoa, that one still hit us. Okay, so yeah. If you go anywhere near these things in the Mako, like across this border, then you will immediately go boom. I mean, show you if you really want. Ready? We're about to go boom. We went boom. We died. It's that simple. Don't do that.
Warning. Ground-penetrating radar detects anti-vehicle demolitions nearby.
And that's why you need to proceed on foot. And, you know, so Simon tells you, that warning right there tells you, the journal entry in your quest log tells you. So for all those reasons, I mean, you do have some warnings, but even then, sometimes, I think the first time I did this, I might have, I don't know, completely ignored that. I forgot about it. So you do need to go on foot. And worth noting here that, yes, there are individual explosives that you need to ignore, not ignore, avoid. And there you see the proximity detection meter. Oh, hold on. You're getting some additional attention here, including from somebody who is shooting some rockets at us, which is rather rude. Rather unfortunate. Do we have... Yeah, Garrus, if you could snipe these guys, that'd be fantastic. Because, you know, like, trying to avoid some explosives while also getting fired at, not exactly great here. These guys, not really sure how much we're down here. We got one of them. This guy, and the other guy is the one that's hanging out outside of cover, so just haven't shot him as much, so maybe, oh, but he's blinking all over the place. Now get this guy. This guy's the one with the rockets. He's down. That one was scared. Took him out. That guy's down as well, it seems. I think. No, he's just knocked down. He's not dead yet. Technically speaking, technically speaking, I think you can actually use biotic abilities like throw to knock them into the explosives and they will blow up on them, and it will be an automatic kill. But we are, I think, outside the range of biotic abilities here. When actually comes in. Hold on just a second. I'm pretty sure that we still have, yeah, squad power usage turned off because we were doing the mission previously, the siege base, in which we very much did not want our teammates to use those abilities, but now it'd be nice if they did. In fact, probably means we could take these guys out much more quickly. But yeah, I think we're outside of range here. So, you can, if you get closer, of course, use biotic abilities to throw these guys into the explosives, and then we'll immediately kill them automatically, which is pretty sweet. But from this angle, I think this is sort of like the back side, and so I think if you go from this angle, you will get their attention. Actually, is this the back side? I think it is. I think if you go from this angle, you get their attention a little bit earlier on, maybe. If you go the other way, I think you can avoid them a little longer. But either way, I think they're now gone. So now, as seen in the bottom right corner, proximity detection, that is relative to the explosives. So, you know, probably don't need to tell you this, but we don't really want that meter to get full. Otherwise, we will go boom. And it is based on us, our location, not our teammates' location. So bear that in mind. We can completely ignore our friends here. it this one? Or is it this one that's getting mad at us? Is what I'm wondering. Apparently, this direction is comparatively okay. Okay, but I'm not liking where we're going here right now. I actually don't remember if it is just quite simply, like, these things are the exact location of the mines, but I think for the most part, we're just going to be looking at our meter here in the bottom right corner and trying not to get blown up. It does really seem like we're just running straight into a bad spot here. That, I would think that's one of them. That's... Seems like there's one right in front of us here. Seems like not really a good answer. No matter what direction we go in here. So obviously, you know, we can fill the meter quite a bit, but if it gets all the way full, then obviously we go boom. There doesn't seem to be one. There is not an indicator here, not one of these things over in this direction. Yet, if we go further, it does still get full. So what? Man, seems like there's really not an angle through here that we can make it work. So I think we try a slightly different angle in that case. Maybe don't force the issue there. Maybe we try going this way instead. Okay. Obviously, that is going to start getting full. That was a little bit better. Okay. Obviously, you know, we are going to have to run by these things to a certain extent. The meter is going to get somewhat full. Tell where it's basically live Minesweeper. Tell where this thing actually is. It does seem like it's kind of right there. Again, it's just like can't really go forward without having this thing blow up on us. How do we get past this? Try a different angle. Ow. Okay. Hold on. I was thinking this would be safe. It's not. It's very much not. Wow. Now we're just outside the range, but... Okay. Now I remember this being this difficult to find a way through. I wonder if we just chose a very unfortunate spot to try to make our move. This is promising thus far. Okay. Ooh. Careful. That's not good. Okay. That way good? No, that way bad. This way, good to a certain extent. Then bad. Okay. Seems like it's now behind us, the closest one. Careful down the hill, but we don't accidentally sprint our way into another one of the mines. Okay. Don't let your guard down just yet. Oh, and also, our mini-map on the bottom right corner, I didn't even think about this, but it does actually have individual markers there. And there were a lot in the area where we were going before. So that may be the simple answer, is we had quite literally a wall of them that we were kind of just walking straight into. Yeah, that's the easy answer. Okay. That's much simpler. So yeah, we must have been walking straight into those. There were a lot in that angle, but we made it around and we can now disarm them if we just break through this thing right here. And that is certainly doable. So there you have it. Whew. Made that more difficult than it had to be, I suppose, in that case. So, like I said, drive through with the Mako, instantly you will get exploded. But then, looking at the actual location of the X's on the bottom right corner in your minimap, that's where you should be focusing on more so than the actual meter itself. Obviously, if the meter next to them fills up, then you're dead. But, I think that's more reactive, whereas actually looking at the location of those markers on your map is more proactive. Okay, now we see some enemies in here. Now that we're inside, why don't we have, Garrus, if you could switch over to your assault rifle. And, we might as well, I suppose, give him the good one. Spectre one. It's as good as it gets. And let's also... Did they give you high explosive barrels? Oh no, you had Shredder. Okay, that's probably preferable. Then you have some pretty bad kinetic stabilizers here. That's not good. Let's improve that. Let's make it frictionless materials. It means you can basically shoot this thing forever. And then maybe we combine that with a scram rail for a little bit more damage. And the downside kind of gets canceled out. Okay. So of course last time we went in the first of the torch rooms and we got our first introduction to the Batarians. This time, I have to imagine there's more. Got a Batarian engineer up there. Ooh. Using some tech abilities here for sure. Drone up there. It's kind of hard to hit. Okay, let's send somebody in here. Oh, but apparently, who was that? Liara, who just took out somebody, potentially numerous people, in fact. And little thing worth noting here, the layout of all these locations is a little bit different. Okay, this is kind of dangerous how the press is forward here. But the interior does look different, or at least the layout of the cover and what have you does differ. First person, yeah, I think Garrus is going to be absolutely shredding people with his assault rifle now. But interestingly, apparently, the story behind it was that a team of people was basically there were different people who designed the interior for the different torch locations, and they kind of had a competition with each other and tried to see who could design the best base. And hence, they all became a little bit different. Go. And the order in which you visit them is actually the determining factor here. So it's not based on the location. So like if, for example, I'm not sure if we're going to see it in our map here, but you know, we did the torch that was closest to our starting position first. And so that one had the a certain layout, and then if you could go to, say, the one that starts the furthest away from you, but if you do that one first, then it's going to have the same layout as the one that we did, because the first torch you go to, no matter where it is, always has one layout. The second torch, no matter where you go to, always has one layout, and then the third torch, whichever one that may be, always has the same layout. Let's go this way. Oh, I hesitated for some reason. There we go. Not great. Nothing super good there, and looks like that's everything in that spot. Loot-wise. Oh, hold on, though. Grab this. Oh, look at that! That's another Colossus 10. I think we already have one. Oh, it's actually light in this case. That would be the best armor in the game, or, one of the best armors in the game for Garrus, at least from a pure damage protection standpoint. Oh, hold on. I thought we were done here. Apparently we are not. Where are you, though? We're upstairs, I think. Why don't we... Oh. Hitting us with something. Why don't we move in? Oh! Rocket throw. Okay. And we got a medical kit up here. We're fine in that regard, though. We have all of our 10... Metagels. Let's... Whoa. Break through this, though. And... Still not great here. Let's go over to this room, though, which is... Last time we were at the torch room. This was the general spot where we were actually able to disable it. And it looks like that's all we have up here, so let's do it. Okay, go here.
Are you there? You've got to hurry. You really pissed them off.
Oh,
Their leader's setting charges everywhere. I think he's going to blow this whole facility.
bro.
Get away from there!
Don't shoot, please! No!
This doesn't look good.
Who's shutting down the torches?
And that's Balak.
I won't ask you again.
He's apparently the leader. Oh! Yeah, he did it.
Find this problem and deal with it. Get her out of here!
Okay. So, well, I think we know at this point who we are dealing with, and as we might have suspected, it is, of course, more Batarians. But that's 2 out of the 3 torches down. We are making progress in that regard. Just double check here, because it did seem like there was some loot kind of hidden here and there, even in the main area of the facility. Make sure we're not missing anything before we head out. Hold on. Other way. Or not. How do we get out of here? Through here.